dimmed my headlights and just left like the little ring circles in the front, the halos on, and then I turned on my fog lights. And I don't know, I kind of like this. The thing is, I don't know if these fog lights are too bright to be riding like this. But I'm gonna have to see once I stop over there at the Petro over there by Medford, Oregon. But I like this. So we can do this, or we can do that. Maybe I'll just stick to this actually. Even though I do like the yellow. Hello, people, party people. Yo, what up? Welcome back to the channel. Stay loaded. And let's see. We delivered today because today's Tuesday, but earlier today we delivered in Seattle, and then we had our second drop in Portland, Oregon. And I arrived there like around 3:30. And yeah, from Portland, Oregon, we could not find anything heading back to Northern California. We couldn't even find any local loads. It was just like later in the day. And if you guys come up to the Northwest, Pacific Northwest, you know that right now loads coming out of Oregon and Washington, there's not a lot of loads coming out of there. And if there is, they're really, 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 really cheap. $1 or less. So yeah, so right now we're heading back home empty. Well, not all the way home, because my plan is just to stop in Redding, California, and not go home. Just because I don't want to deadhead so much, because I live in Yuba City. So I'm going to stop in Redding and just see what we can find tomorrow coming out of there. Either back up here to Oregon or Washington, or to LA, or maybe just a local run in Northern California. I don't know yet. But yeah, man, it kind of sucks that we have to deadhead and go back empty, but I guess that's just what you have to do sometimes. Luckily, we had a really good paying load coming up here, so that was a good part. But yeah, man, so today's the 1st of August, and I just wanted to share you guys how the month of July went for me. So the month of July was probably the best month I've had so far. I grossed $22,000. But I'm going to be honest with you, this last load that I did from Northern California up to Seattle, this last load I just dropped off, really helped out at the end. It gave me a big push, so that way I could profit and make good money for the month of July, because before that, it was just going to be like a decent month. Nothing special, but with that load, it ended up being my best month so far this year. So $22K I grossed. And if you guys don't know trucking, it's not that I don't like to say my net, because I really don't know yet, because I haven't added my expenses. But in trucking, there's a lot of expenses. So it might seem cool to say, oh, I made $22K this month, but there is a lot of expenses. Like I said, I don't know how much expenses I had this month, because I just haven't added everything up yet. But a big reason why this month of July was my best month yet in the year of 2023 is because I started doing, I wouldn't say dedicated loads, because dedicated is something that probably keeps you busy, but I've been having direct loads with the shipper, and they've been paying me pretty good. I've only done about 3 or 4 runs for them, but the pay's really good, and I think that's what helped me this month at least. Because before that, running strictly off the load board, no connects, no nothing. So yeah, man, I mean, if you're just strictly running off the load board, it's kind of hard out here if that's the way you're gonna do it. I mean, the rest of the months I've been doing it like that, and I've been profiting still, but just not as much as I should, especially in the beginning of the year. But I have been doing better, which is good, as long as we go up. And honestly, with trucking, the way I look at it, you might have good months and you're gonna, well, it's not that you are gonna have good months and you are gonna have bad months. But I think you gotta look at it as a yearly thing, your profit. Because in January is when I think I went negative in January. Because I had a lot of expenses, you know, you gotta pay in January is usually when I have a lot more expenses. Because it's a new year, so you're starting everything up, you're renewing everything. But now this year's like, man, I made pretty good money, at least gross. So if you really want to get into trucking, honestly, unless you have dedicated stuff, yes, maybe. That way you can kind of know how much you're going to be making. But if you're just going to come in as an owner-operator running off the load board, don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't do it. If one of us goes in, then we all go through it. Just kidding. That's a Drake verse right there. But yeah, I wouldn't do it unless you had dedicated stuff. But if you're coming as a driver, like I've already told everyone before, I've never really been a driver, especially for over the road. I did do like 1 to 2 years for construction, like bottom dumps, end dumps, and that was pretty good. But as far as like, well, that was also like, I don't know, 4 years ago, so it's different now. But I would say if you want to truck drive, just work for a company, maybe you'll be all right. I don't think you'll be stressing. You'll probably be out a lot though, because they just want to work you like a horse. See me, well, another thing you got to take into account with me is that I only try to work Monday through Friday. There's other truckers out there that stay out there for like weeks. I don't really do that. I've never really done that. But yeah, I only work 5 days a week, maybe 6 if I really have to. I usually like to take 2 days off. That's me personally. With me, I don't know. I'm just not going to be wasting my whole life being on the road. I'd rather work by 5 days, but those 5 days, I hit it strong. Like, I'm working all my hours every day, and I'm just hitting it hard. But I also like to take a break, because if I were just to work like for weeks, I would get burnt out very, very fast. But working those 5 days a week and then having 2 days off, I actually like miss going to work. After like this, on the second day, I'm like, damn, I can't wait to go back to work. But yeah, that's just me. So if you're gonna come in as an owner-operator straight using a load board, don't do it. If you have dedicated stuff, then just kind of do the math. And yeah, that's what I would say. What up? So it's Wednesday morning. We made it last night. We made it here to Redding, California. I'm about to go hit the Planet Fitness and shower and work out. But I was calling on some loads. I called on a load, I think, from Orland to Eugene, Oregon, which is like 370 miles. The load weighed 22,000 pounds, and it was only like 25 feet. So I called. I always try to get $3 a mile, but so the girl was asking for like she was trying to give it to me for $900. I was like, no, I'll take it for $1,300. And she's like, oh, well, we have a person that usually does it for $750. And I'm like, man, that person must be doing it for really cheap. And she's like, yeah, he does, or something. And I was like, that's like $1.20, $1.30 a mile. I was like, that's cheap. I'm not going to run it for that. And she's like, well, it's because it's a partial load. But, I mean, it weighs 22,000 pounds. It's like 25 feet long. It takes up 25 feet of space. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do 750 or 900. I'm not going to run it for cheap like that. And, like, she's like, $1 a mile? And I'm like, yeah, that's what the other person's running it for. She's like, oh, well, they could take another load. And I'm like, I get it's a partial load, but I wouldn't really consider it a partial load, because I've had full loads that weighed less than that. So, and I get paid for a full truckload. So, yeah, crazy how it's crazy how people are taking these loads so cheap. So it's 250. We barely found a load probably like an hour ago, so around 2 we found a load picking up over here in Orland, California, going to Eugene, Oregon. But then I looked at the Raycon when I booked the load about 30 minutes ago, and it said it didn't deliver until the 7th, which is Monday, but today's just Wednesday. And this should be, the broker told me it delivered the next day. First come, first serve, so I'm like confused. But I'm already like, these brokers are probably lying, so I call the delivery place and I'm like, are you guys expecting to load tomorrow? They're like, no, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, are you guys first come, first serve? They said no. So then I had to figure some things out, but I found out that the broker never made the appointment for tomorrow. So then I was like 30 minutes away from over here from Orland, so I kind of just parked and I was like, you know what, they're probably not going to figure this out. So I waited and waited, and I have to be there before 3. So pretty much they did end up making the appointment. So, but then now I'm rushing to get over here to Orland. It says I'm gonna be there at 2:55, which is before 3, but let's see if they take me in. And this was all pretty much because of the broker. And if I would have never called and figured shit out, then I don't know, man, it would have never got figured out. I would have arrived at Eugene with the load and they would have been like, nope, you have to wait until you make an appointment. So these brokers suck, man. They're hella annoying. They can't do their job right. But let's get over here, man. Pick up these almonds. 2:53. About to go check in. Oh, I see a sign over there, shipping and receiving. So their shipping and receiving gate's closed because they're doing construction. So now I gotta back up to the main office. Man, oh man. What a day, what a day. Shitty loads, couldn't find anything, and I finally found one that's all right. And I'm going through all this. They're gonna go see if that number that I gave them, that PO number, was right. All loaded up. It took about 20 minutes. Got almonds. So let's start heading to Eugene, Oregon. $17 for a damn pizza! Holy moly! Inflation is real, you guys. Don't take cheap loads. Recommended right here. The Ghost Energy Drink. Blue raspberry. We aren't getting to Eugene until 10:50 p.m. Thursday morning. We are here at Snow Temp in Eugene, Oregon. I just got through the gate, gave them my delivery number. They said go to building 2 and check in with them so I can get a dock. But I have to go park in a staging area. All right, we got door 6. So we're gonna go ahead and open our doors. And back on in over there. Load is still secured. So they unloaded us pretty fast here in like 10 minutes. It was only like 10 pallets.